Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be for you for year 2025, analysis of your ascendant from sidereal and also from tropical modern astrology perspective. So for example, if you would have ascendant sidereal ascendant Aries, your tropical ascendant will be Taurus. If you don't know at what time you were born, then you apply the moon sign. So it would be moon in Aries, sidereal astrology would correspond to moon in Taurus, tropical modern astrology. So this will be how I will be looking at the 12 ascendants. Also, why we look at the ascendants? Because this, according to the ancients, very ancient tradition, the ascendant is the house of life. This is more important even than the lunar sign or than the solar sign. So we derive the horoscope first from your rising sign, from your ascendant. So this is how I will be looking at your ascendant and your future year 2025. And of course, what I will do is I will be looking at the most important transits. They are so very important for year 2025. And of course, we'll be looking at the eclipses. They are also very, very important because in year 2025, the lunar nodes change positions and also with themselves, they take the eclipses. Also, we're looking at a major conjunction of trans-Saturn planets and so on. So this will be a general analysis of your future for 2025. If you want to have very specific, very detailed reading with me, which will include primary directions, which will include the method of Time Lords techniques, which will include progressed horoscopes and solar revolution, then you may like to book a personal reading with me. And for year 2025, you can find a reading with a discount, which is valid for the month of December and also January. So if you want to have discounted reading, detailed analysis of your future and of your natal horoscope, you may book such reading with me. So let's hear now your ascendant, description of your ascendant and the future of 2025 for you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be for you who have sidereal ascendant Aries or moon in Aries. If you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Taurus. So, ancient sidereal Aries, modern Taurus. If you don't know the time of your birth, then you can use the moon sign. So it will be moon in Aries, or according to the ancient sidereal astrology which I use, or moon in Taurus. Now we'll be looking at year 2025 for you. The most important celestial events. We cannot be very, very detailed. If you want very detailed analysis, you may like to connect with me for the analysis of your birth horoscope and the predictions of the future events for you. And there is nothing scary in seeing the horoscope because we can change only what you know. The unknown we cannot change. So what is happening first? Where to start from? First of all, in the year 2025, we will have 4 eclipses, and they are taking place 13th, 14th of March. The eclipse is lunar, eclipse of the full moon, and this eclipse is taking place in the 29 degrees of Leo and Aquarius. Then you have the second solar eclipse. This eclipse is taking place in Pisces as conjunction between the sun and the moon, and is in the 15 degrees of Pisces. Then we have third eclipse, 7-8 September, total lunar eclipse of the full moon, it is in the 20 degrees of Leo and Aquarius, and then we have solar partial on the 21st September of 2025 taking place at the 4 degrees of Virgo. How these eclipses are influencing your horoscope? I decided to start with them because eclipses are always portals for change. They bring changes and they show in which houses, in which areas the main changes will take place in our lives. Now, two important placements will be influenced by eclipses in your horoscope. This is the axis of 11th, 5th houses. This is axis of children, your communication with children, gains, your social circle, creative activities too, creative knowledge. So there in next year, especially around it, after the timings of these eclipses, you will certainly see changes taking place related to your social circle, related to your gains and finances, your hobbies, your goals, your your creative activities, what you like to do. You can open up to new talents, let's say. Of course, around the timings of the eclipses, 15 days before, 15 days after, is good to wait and see where the energies are bringing you. I don't really advise important new beginnings, new decisions, and so. Then the other two eclipses, are taking place on the axis of your 12th and 6th houses. Both signs 12th and 6th are influenced. This will have to do with some influences on your routine. This may eventually activate some hidden enemies, but will also give you the opportunities to deal with them, because there is eventually something, some challenging situation created, but then after that you will know what to do with it. So, of course, this is portal related to health. So you may need to be, especially around the timings of the eclipses, and these are the two eclipses, 29 March, 21st September, 15 days before, 15 days after, particularly more responsible for your own health. But this portal can be related to your, to changes in your routine as well, changing the way you do your work, your career, also your relationship with health. It would mean to how you perceive health. You can educate yourself better in relation to health. Of course, this depends on your natal horoscope. So the eclipses are opening up these two topics in your horoscope for the year of 2025. Then something very important also is taking place, which is Mars, your ascendant ruler. Now, as we speak now, Mars is in your 4th house. He will be quite long there in Cancer, and this is his fallen position, especially, critical will be a little bit the timings now when he's retrograding. Mars is your ascendant ruler. In the 4th house, certainly he's emphasizing on home, the house, a relationship with mother. He will be until 19th of January retrograding, but still he will be in Cancer, and then until 5th of April he will be in Gemini, and then he enters Cancer again until summertime. So he's quite long in Cancer. Critical a little bit is the timing, 19 January, January, because he's passing this a little bit critical point. He's less, I would say, challenging when he will be in Gemini, because in Cancer he's really detriment. This way, being ruler of your ascendant and being detriment in the fourth house, he may have a little bit impact on your career. So during this cycle of Mars, you may need to be a little bit more diplomatic, careful when you communicate with with superiors, with father figure. You may, with institutions, you may need to be a little bit more careful, especially end of January. This is 19th of January actually, and until 19th of January too, because he's retrograding towards the third house. When he would enter your third house from 19th January to 5th of April, you may need to be again more diplomatic with people and more careful when you're traveling. Careful, diplomatic with brothers and sisters as well, because this is he will be on your third house, and since he's ruling your ascendant, this is basically you. This is the house of life, so it is entirely in your hands to have very harmonious Mars. So this is about Mars. I would say a few more words about him, but before that, Saturn now as we speak is in Sidereal Aquarius, which is your 11th house. With this, I don't see him really to be afflicting for you, because from the 11th house he's very strong first of all, and he's sextiling your ascendant. So basically this is not afflicting aspect. The sextiling energy of Mars is even benevolent. In what way? Financially, he certainly made already since January 2023 and until 6th of April 2025, he will be responsible for many changes with your friendships. He will show the true faces of people, introduce new friends, connections in your lives. He can also be responsible for some changes in communication with your children, for example. So Saturn in the 11th house is also not so bad, because this is the house of the good spirit, and Saturn in this house is less afflicting. So he will certainly until 6th of April still be bringing you transformations, mainly related to gains, money that you make, finances, connections, social circle, and your communication with children. He would certainly, especially when he would leave, you will be maybe even grateful, because he will be fulfilling the karma for the aspects of life which I just described. Then on 17th of February until, let's see, when was this? 3rd of May, Saturn is invisible, and he appears visible for the first time on 9th of June, but this time in Pisces. So on 17th of February he's turning invisible. On the 6th of April he's entering Pisces, which is your 12th house, and on 9th of June in the 7 degrees of Pisces he's visible for the first time to bring you what he's supposed to bring in Pisces. But before that, he's taking what he's supposed to take with himself when he becomes invisible, and this is happening in the 25th degrees of Aquarius. So this is like he's making the last changes for you related to the aspects of life that I described. Changes in finances, in gains, in social circle, communication with people, and so on. So he's taking away the old, the unneeded, and when he rises again visible in the 7 degrees of Pisces on 9th of June of 2025, he will bring something new for you in Pisces, which is your 12th house. He will bring what? Most probably this will be a new mission 12th house is the mission, is our mission in this lifetime, the way we are supposed to take care of others, take care of the poor, of the sick, of this is the temple, our hidden place. So he will bring lots of insights for you. He may also bring new knowledge related to health, new sense of mission, very, very, very possibly. Of course, this depends on the placement of Saturn in your horoscope. You may need to be more responsible for your health already, truly more responsible for your health, like supporting your immune system, being on the side of truth, like never deviating from the truth, having good moral values, and certainly be disciplined, in order to have good impact of Saturn in your horoscope. Then another important event, Jupiter now as we speak is in Taurus, in your second house. Certainly he, with Uranus there, actually is responsible for some financial changes for you in your life, maybe also changes related to the to some family matters, family roots. So on, when is this, on 5th of February Jupiter is turning, is stationary, actually to become direct. On 3rd of June he is becoming invisible, but before that, more important, on in May Jupiter is entering sidereal Gemini. Jupiter is entering Gemini. This is good for you actually, because then Jupiter will make trine to your 7th house, your relationship. He can bring the peace back then if needed, or he can bring blessing. This is important. And also he is sextiling your ascendant, so this is good. He is not very powerful, of course, in Gemini, because he's detriment. He is against the sign which he's ruling, but certainly he will bless relationship with brothers and sisters. He can help you recover relationship with them. He can help you in some studies. He can help you in classes, courses, communication, media work, and so, because he will be, as of May, he will be 1 year in Gemini. And I forgot to mention, he enters Gemini on 19th of May. 19th of May. So what is he doing in the meantime? To give you a little bit of details, on 3rd of June he becomes invisible in the 4th degree of Gemini. Then he's not really so present in the horoscope, because it is believed when a planet becomes invisible, the planet is entering the nether world, so he will not be very present. He will not be blessing so much studies, but he can help spiritual work, intrinsic, like a deep work on a very deep level. Let's say he can be very blessing for let's say spiritual practices. Also, like I said, on 3rd of June he's becoming invisible, and he becomes again visible on 16th of July in the 14th degree of Gemini. Actually, in the 14 degrees of Gemini, this is benevolent section of Gemini, which is ruled by Venus. And actually this is blessing again on studies, on spiritual work, on communication, brothers and sisters, even travel. So 16th of July could be a good date for these activities. So this is about Jupiter. Then also something very important, in the meantime, Uranus, already since 18th of June, is on your 2nd house. He was already 7 years in Aries on your ascendant since, I think it was April of 2017. So you know already the energies of Uranus, what they mean. 7 years of change, of great shifts for you. And on 18th of June of 2024, Uranus left and he entered Taurus to bring for you 7 years ahead, also in 2025, great changes, especially related to finances and family matters. Very, very important. So this is something about you. In the meantime, also mentioning the trans-Saturn planets, Pluto will be in Capricorn, slowly, moving on in Capricorn, which he entered on, it was 2021, 3rd December. 3rd December 2021, and he's slowly progressing into Capricorn, which happens to be your 10th house, and he's already responsible for changes related to your occupation, career, highest goals, and so. So this is the role of Pluto. He will be in Capricorn for the next 20 years or so, a little bit less than 20 years already. What is happening in the meantime with Venus? Venus is, one second. Venus is becoming invisible in, oh, this is actually a little bit late, 1 second. So about Venus. Now on 29th of January, Venus is entering your 12th house, which is Pisces. There she is very strong, of course. Saturn is not there yet, so she's alone, very powerful, not afflicted by a malefic planet. There is large square with Mars, who in the meantime will be in Gemini, so I don't see really this as heavy affliction. So Venus will be in Pisces since from 29th of January, and there actually she is having a very good role for you to sextile your 2nd house, Jupiter and Uranus, to support family roots, family matters, important matters, also finances. In the meantime, she's blessing your health, your mission, like what you do for others, what you do for your spiritual work, spiritual awakening. And so she will be direct and in Pisces until 2nd of March. In March, still in Pisces, she's becoming shortly stationary, and then she's becoming retrograde. She will be retrograding, and on 4 April, she's entering backwards Aquarius, and in 12th of April, in the very last degrees of Aquarius, she's turning direct and she's entering again Pisces. So this is a beautiful long transit of Venus into Pisces, which is benevolent, like I said, for your health, but her 2nd entrance of Venus into Pisces will be already with Saturn. So, and he will be at that time invisible. So she's entering again on 12th of April, Pisces. Saturn will be there since 6th of April. So Saturn is there invisible, Venus is there. They conjoin in the 1st degrees of your 12th house. This may awaken some matters related to hidden enemies, but will help you to overcome this. Can create a little bit of expenditures, costs, and certainly it will be very esoteric, because usually when you see Venus and Saturn in conjunction, especially when this is happening in sign like Pisces, and Mercury and Neptune are there, and also the lunar nodes are there, this is certainly very, very powerful when it comes to spiritual experiences. This can disturb a little bit your sleep, especially after 6th of April for 3 years. Saturn can disturb a little bit your sleep, so you may need to do a little bit of meditation, connect with nature, doing some gardening. You know, when you know that Saturn can disturb a little bit your sleep. But you can certainly deal with this with spiritual practices. Uh, so yes, when she enters back, you know, Pisces on 12th of April, she will be forming this very interesting conjunction, and she will be transiting through Pisces now direct. Until 1st of June, she will be in your 12th house. I said what she will denote for your horoscope, and then she's entering your ascendant, where she will be until for 1 month on your ascendant. From 1st of month, count 1 month. What is she doing? Yes, she's fallen in Aries on your ascendant, but she can bless romantic life, relationships, agreements. So she will give you the blessing, feeling of joy, well-being, and so she will have a very good role for you. And later on, the next 1 month, she will be very positive for your finances. So she will have this positive role in your horoscope. Also, what is quite interesting about Mercury, briefly to tell you, on his one of his appearances, first visibility, you know, this is rare because Mercury is the planet which is ruling the mental capacities, communication. He will be he's most of the time invisible, but on 23rd of May he will be visible in the last degrees of your ascendant, Aries. And this is good for communication, for travel. This can give you even good financial results. Depends on, of course, the position of the natal position of your Mercury in your natal horoscope. So this is also important. So in general, if I have to summarize, and when we look also at the actual beginning of the year, it is taking place, let me see my notes, on 30th of March. This is the 1st of Nisan, 30th of March. This is the first lunar month. It is 1st of Nisan, starts 30th of March, with the first appearance of the moon after the sun enters the point of the vernal equinox, which is Pisces. What we see there is huge stellium of planets right on your ascendant, and also the moon appears for the first time also in your ascendant in degrees of Athena, light degrees. These are degrees of good dignity, courage, good deeds. These are benevolent degrees, and the moon appears there to emphasize for the whole year ahead, count from 30th of March, to emphasize on your ascendant. What is this meaning? It means that you will go through important changes, important decisions to make, changes in your purpose, ideas, maybe even occupation. So there will be a lot that you consider most probably changing, especially because of this important big conjunction of planets. Saturn will be on your ascendant, not Saturn, sorry. My apologies, the moon indeed will be on your ascendant. The big stellium will be on your 12th house. Again, spirituality, your sense of mission, your rethinking your values, your goals, your spiritual awakening, and so. But the fact that the moon indeed, like I said, appears for the first time on your ascendant in these degrees of decency is very good. This will give you courage, new drive to create new purpose events in your life. So I find this good. Mentioning the stellium, actually it is a stellium happening in your 12th house. Saturn will be, like I said, in your 12th house, conjoined Venus, conjoined Neptune, conjoined Mercury, Rahu and the Sun, like assembly of planets in your 12th house. Indeed, this has to do with your mission, with your awakening, your relationship with health, enemies. Maybe you need to revisit your relationship with people, forgive, revisit, understand why maybe some people are creating challenges in your life. Could be this to be the meaning of the great stellium in your 12th house. I don't see it as a bad stellium because this is also forming sixth out to Uranus and Jupiter, which is actually related to spirituality, awakening. It is related to finding the solutions also. So certainly 2025 I don't see as so very challenging for you, no. Maybe the previous 2 years were 2 years ago, because the lunar nodes then were on your ascendant and descendant, but now this is not the fact. Another couple of dates to mention to you maybe could be interesting. This is the first appearance of Aldebaran, the royal star of power and money. 4th of July, you can maybe benefit somehow from this date, especially when you would make financial, let's say, work decisions. Then for spiritual work, 18th of August, the first appearance of Sirius, the star which is related to the greatest masters on which descended on earth. Spiritual work, working on knowledge, courage. Regulus, courage, the star of the army leader. The first appearance is 12th of September. And then the fourth royal star, formal house, the star of spiritual guru, which is 26th of May. But mentioning about Regulus, it's the heart of the land. It's related to courage, noble actions. It is related to working on fighting negative thoughts, depression and so. And the date is 12th of September. And then another royal star, which is Antares, becomes visible every 31st of December. It is about action, it is about sportiveness maybe, it is about powerful activities like winning over enemies. You can use this the energies of these stars. On 7th of November, Spica becomes visible for the first time. It is a star which we can use for communication, commercial work. So these dates could be probably interesting for you. So in general, like I mentioned here, doesn't look so challenging for you as it was a couple of years ago. Certainly you will experience some changes, as every one of us will, and just be a little bit more responsible for your health, and be also around the timings of the eclipses, make sure that you don't make very important decisions, to be on the safe side. If you want to know exactly in detail what is happening in your horoscope, you can connect with me for a reading. All the best and great new year ahead I wish to you.